There's a sound buried in the bones of rock and roll, a rhythm so primal, so undeniable, that once you hear it, you can never unhear it. It's that syncopated pulse, that hypnotic groove that makes your body move before your brain even realizes it's happening. You've heard it 1,000 times, in Buddy Holly, in the Rolling Stones, in Bruce Springsteen, in U2, and George Michael. But do you know where it came from? His name was Bo Diddley, and the music industry tried to bury him while he was still alive. If you love uncovering hidden legends like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Legends Underrated, and tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? December 30th, 1928, Macomb, Mississippi. A baby boy is born on a sharecropper's farm to a 16-year-old girl named Ethel Wilson. His father, Eugene Bates, is already gone. The baby's name is Ellis Otha Bates, but he'll never really know that man. Within months, Ethel realizes she can't raise a child alone, so she does what so many desperate mothers have done throughout history. She gives her baby to family. Gussie McDaniel, Ethel's cousin, takes the boy in. He becomes Ellis McDaniel. It's not adoption in any legal sense, just survival, just love doing what it can in impossible circumstances. For the first 5 years of his life, young Ellis knows only the rural South, dirt roads, cotton fields, the sound of gospel music drifting from wooden churches on Sunday mornings. But then, in 1934, everything changes. Gussie's husband Robert dies, leaving her alone with 3 children and one more that isn't legally hers. Chicago calls, jobs call, escape calls. They pack what little they have and head north. Chicago's South Side in the 1930s is a world away from Mississippi. Concrete replaces cotton. Factory smoke replaces open sky. And music is everywhere. Blues clubs on every corner. Gospel choirs that could raise the dead. Street musicians playing for pennies. Young Ellis hears it all, absorbs it all. But here's where the story gets interesting. Because Gussie McDaniel isn't just trying to survive. She's trying to give this boy culture. She enrolls him at Ebenezer Baptist Church, where the musical director, O.W. Frederick, sees something in the quiet kid from Mississippi. He hands him a violin, not a guitar, a violin. For years, Ellis studies classical violin. He learns trombone too. He's good enough that the church orchestra invites him to join. He plays with them until he's 18 years old. Picture that for a moment. The man who will revolutionize rock and roll spent his childhood playing Beethoven in a church orchestra, but something else is happening too. In the Pentecostal church down the street, there's a different kind of music. Rhythmic, hypnotic, raw. The congregants clap their hands against their thighs. Bump, 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 bump. They call it the ham bone rhythm. Some say it comes from West Africa. Others say it's from the Caribbean. Nobody knows for sure, but young Ellis hears it, and something clicks in his brain. That rhythm, that pulse, that heartbeat. School is a nightmare. The kids on Chicago's South Side don't take kindly to this country boy from Mississippi. They mock his accent. They push him around. So Ellis learns to fight. He joins a boxing club, trains with the little neighborhood Golden Gloves bunch. The kids start calling him Bo Diddley, either after a local comedian or after the one-string diddly bow guitar from the South. The name sticks. The fighter sticks. But he's got something else brewing inside him. At 12 years old, Bo Diddley builds his first guitar. Not buys, builds. Out of scraps, out of necessity, out of pure creative hunger. He teaches himself to play. He drops the violin. He drops the trombone. He picks up the electric guitar and never looks back. By the 1940s, he's playing street corners with his friend Roosevelt Jackson on washtub bass. They add a third guitarist, Jody Williams, then a harmonica player, Billy Boy Arnold. They call themselves the Hipsters. Then the Langley Avenue Jive Cats. They play anywhere that will have them. Talent shows, street corners, outside clubs. They're too young to enter. But music doesn't pay the bills. So Bo works construction. He boxes semi-professionally. He fixes cars. He does whatever it takes to survive while dreaming of something bigger. In 1951, everything shifts. Bo Diddley lands a regular spot at the 708 Club on Chicago's South Side. He's 23 years old. His repertoire is influenced by John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, and Louis Jordan. But he's experimenting, always experimenting, taking that church ham-bone rhythm and layering it over electric guitar, adding tremolo, adding reverb, creating sounds that don't exist yet. And people start to notice. For 3 years, he perfects his craft at the 708. His band solidifies Jerome Green on maracas, that freight train shake that drives the rhythm forward. Drummer Clifton James keeping that syncopated pulse. But Bo knows he needs more. He needs a record deal. In late 1954, he records demos at home, 2 songs, I'm a Man and Bo Diddley. He takes them to every label in Chicago. Most turn him away. Too raw, too different, too black. Then he walks into Chess Records. Phil Chess hears the demos. He's stunned. The next day, he asks Bo to play for his brother Leonard. Leonard Chess built his empire on Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Willie Dixon. He knows the blues. But this is something else. Not quite blues. Not quite R&B. Something entirely new. There's just one problem. The lyrics to Bo Diddley are, in Leonard's words, rather obscene. He tells Bo to clean them up and come back. Bo agrees. On March 2nd, 1955, they record at Universal Studios. Bo Diddley on guitar, Billy Boy Arnold on harmonica, Jerome Green on maracas, Clifton James on drums, Otis Spann on piano, Lester Davenport on additional harmonica, Frank Kirkland on additional drums. The song Bo Diddley is released on Chess's subsidiary label, Checker. It's unlike anything on the radio. That ham-bone rhythm, amplified and electrified. Bo's voice, boastful and playful. The tremolo guitar, sounding like it's coming from another planet. The song climbs to #1 on the R&B charts. It stays there for 2 weeks. It spends 18 weeks on the charts total. America has never heard anything like it. I'm a Man. The B-side is almost as huge. It's inspired by Muddy Waters, but twisted into something fiercer, more aggressive, more sexual. It becomes a hit in its own right. Bo Diddley, at 26 years old, is suddenly one of the biggest names in rhythm and blues. And then comes the call that should have made him a legend. Ed Sullivan wants him on the show. Stories like these are why I built Legends Underrated. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Untold Legends. November 20th, 1955, New York City. The Ed Sullivan Show has 70 million viewers every Sunday night. It's the biggest platform in America. Careers are made or destroyed in a single appearance. Hours before the show, Ed Sullivan hears Bo Diddley backstage, casually singing Tennessee Ernie Ford's massive country hit 16 Tons. Sullivan is impressed. He approaches Bo. "Sing that tonight," he says, instead of your song? Bo agrees. Why wouldn't he? It's Ed Sullivan. But when he looks at the cue card later, he sees two words: Bo Diddley, 16 tons. Here's what Bo thinks. He's supposed to play both songs back to back. The cue card is telling him what to play, and his name is first. Here's what Ed Sullivan thinks. Bo Diddley is going to perform 16 tons. The show goes live. 70 million Americans are watching. Sullivan introduces a segment about Harlem's music scene. A disc jockey named Dr. Jive introduces Bo Diddley as a wonderful folk blues singer. Bo walks onto the stage with his rectangular guitar, his dark glasses, his loud shirt. He looks like nobody America has ever seen on national television. And then he starts playing. Not 16 tons. Bo Diddley, his own song, his own sound. That revolutionary ham-bone beat blasting through living rooms across the country. It's raw. It's black. It's unapologetically itself. Ed Sullivan is furious. Absolutely furious. The second the song ends, the cameras cut away. Sullivan storms backstage. According to multiple accounts, he screams at Bo, "You're the first colored boy to cross me on national television." Bo tries to explain the cue card, the misunderstanding. Sullivan doesn't care. He bans Bo Diddley from his show permanently. He tells him, "You won't last 6 months in this business." But here's what Sullivan doesn't understand. Here's what nobody could have predicted. That single performance, that act of defiance or misunderstanding or fate, becomes the first true rock and roll performance on national television. Bo Diddley just introduced 70 million people to the future of music. And Ed Sullivan's prediction? Dead wrong. Bo Diddley won't last 6 months. He'll last 53 years. The next few years are a whirlwind. Pretty Thing in 1956. Who Do You Love in 1957. Say Man in 1959. His only top 20 pop hit. A playful back and forth rap with Jerome Green that sounds like it's inventing hip hop 30 years early. Road Runner in 1960. You Can't Judge a Book by the Cover in 1962, written by Willie Dixon. But Bo Diddley isn't just making hits. He's building something revolutionary. In 1957, a 16-year-old girl named Peggy Jones meets Bo backstage at the Apollo Theater. She's carrying a guitar case. Bo is stunned. A woman with a guitar. In 1957, "You play that thing?" he asks. "You think I'm carrying it for looks?" She shoots back. Bo invites her backstage, asks her to play. When she opens her case, he laughs at her Supro guitar. But when she starts playing, the laughter stops. Within a year, Peggy Jones becomes Lady Bo. She joins Bo Diddley's band as rhythm guitarist. She's one of the first, perhaps the first, female lead guitarist in a major rock band. Her influence is immediate. You can hear it on Say Man, on Road Runner, on the instrumental Aztec, which she wrote and played every guitar part. But it's Bo's guitar that becomes legendary. Around 1958, he contacts Gretsch's Brooklyn factory. He has an idea. Take a guitar and reduce it to its essentials, strings and wood. Nothing fancy, nothing in the way, just a rectangle. Gretsch builds him what will become the most iconic guitar shape in rock and roll. Firebird red, semi-hollow body, Filtertron pickups. Bo calls it the twang machine. He plays it on stage with the lights hitting that rectangular body, and audiences lose their minds. He doesn't stop there. He builds guitars shaped like Cadillac fins, triangles, circles. He covers guitars in rabbit fur, in leather, in carpet. He experiments with every sound effect he can create. Tremolo, reverb, distortion, feedback, He's inventing sounds that Jimi Hendrix won't fully explore for another decade. The British invasion bands watch and learn. The Rolling Stones cover Mona and make it a staple of their early shows. They record Buddy Holly's Not Fade Away, which is built entirely on the Bo Diddley beat. That becomes their first major US hit. The Yardbirds cover I'm a Man. The Animals cover The Story of Bo Diddley. The Pretty Things named their band after one of his songs. When the Beatles first come to America, Paul McCartney tells reporters he wants to see two people, Bo Diddley and Muddy Waters. A reporter asks, "Where's that?" McCartney is incredulous. "Don't you know who your own famous people are?" But here's the tragedy. While these British bands are making millions covering his songs, Bo Diddley is struggling. The 1960s hit hard. Bo hits a financial rough patch. Record sales aren't what they used to be. Chess Records accounting is, to put it mildly, creative. And then Bo makes a decision that will haunt him for the rest of his life. He sells his song publishing rights, just sells them for quick cash to survive. So when the Rolling Stones record, Mona, Bo Diddley gets nothing. When the Yardbirds record, I'm a Man, nothing. When dozens of bands across Britain and America build their entire careers on songs he wrote, songs he created, sounds he invented, Bo Diddley receives not 1 cent in publishing royalties. And Chess Records? They're even worse. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Bo and other Chess artists are paid flat fees for their recordings. No royalty payments, ever. Chess tells them there are production debts that need to be paid off first. They show them account books claiming the artists owe the label money. Years later, we'll learn it's all a lie. Muddy Waters' account in 1986 shows a negative balance of $56,000, even though his catalog earned more than $25,000 in royalties that year alone. Money that was never paid out, money that disappeared into Leonard and Phil Chess's pockets. Bo Diddley later calls Leonard Chess a thief. He tells reporters, "I opened the door for a lot of people, and they just ran through and left me holding the knob." When Buddy Holly's That'll Be the Day made enough money to buy his mother a house, Bo Diddley couldn't afford to do the same for Gussie. "I never got paid," he says simply. Think about that. The man who invented the beat that defines rock and roll couldn't afford to buy his adoptive mother a house. Lady Bo leaves the band in 1961 to care for her sick mother. The Duchess, Norma Jean Wofford, replaces her. Bo keeps touring, keeps recording, but the hits dry up. By 1963, his commercial peak is over. The music world moves on. But Bo Diddley doesn't stop. He can't. He needs the money. He keeps touring through the 70s, playing small clubs, revival shows, anywhere that will book him. In the early 70s, he moves to New Mexico and becomes a deputy sheriff. Yes, Bo Diddley, revolutionary rock star, wearing a badge and patrolling a small town. In 1979, he tours with The Clash. The young punks treat him like royalty because he is. In 1987, he's finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's 32 years after Bo Diddley hit #1. Better late than never. In 1989, something extraordinary happens. MCA Records acquires Chess Records' catalog. And for the first time in their lives, the surviving Chess artists start receiving actual royalty payments. Bo Diddley receives his first royalty check from Chess Records in 1989, 34 years after his first record. That same year, Nike launches the Bo Knows campaign with athlete Bo Jackson. They bring in Bo Diddley for the commercials. Suddenly, a new generation knows his name. A Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award comes in 1998. Awards pile up, recognition comes, money finally trickles in, but Bo never stops being bitter. And who can blame him? "I am old," he tells reporters. I've never got paid. A dude with a pencil is worse than a cat with a machine gun. This twist shocked the world, and if you never want to miss stories like this, make sure you subscribe to Legends Underrated, and don't forget to like the video if this story moved you. May 12th, 2007, Council Bluffs, Iowa, Harris Horseshoe Casino. Bo Diddley is 78 years old. He's performing 2 shows. During the concert, he tells the audience he's not feeling well. He attributes it to smoke from wildfires back home in Archer, Florida. But he pushes through. He finishes both shows. Because that's what Bo Diddley does. He shows up, he performs, he gives everything. The next day, Sunday, he's at the Omaha airport trying to fly home. His manager, Margot Lewis, notices something wrong. Bo seems dazed, confused, disoriented. She calls an ambulance immediately. At Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha, the doctors deliver the news: stroke. The left side of his brain is affected. His speech is impaired. His speech recognition is compromised. Bo Diddley, the man who made his living with his voice and his hands, can barely speak. He has a history of hypertension, diabetes. His body has been warning him for years, but he kept touring, kept performing, because the bills don't stop, and neither did he. The stroke forces him to cancel a month-long tour of the Midwest and the United Kingdom. At 78, Bo Diddley finally has to stop. He returns home to Archer, Florida, to the 76-acre farm he's owned since the early 80s. He goes through rehabilitation, speech therapy, physical therapy. Doctors say he might perform again. He's walking around the hospital, defying the odds, proving Ed Sullivan wrong one more time. But on August 28th, 2007, 3 months after the stroke, Bo Diddley suffers a heart attack. His body is shutting down. The man who revolutionized music, who created sounds that will outlive us all, is dying. June 2nd, 2008, Archer, Florida. Bo Diddley's home. Family gathers. 15 grandchildren. 15 great-grandchildren. 3 great-great-grandchildren. Friends. Loved ones. The people who really knew him, not as a legend, but as a man. Someone puts on a gospel song, Walk Around Heaven. It was always his favorite. The music plays softly through the room. According to his grandson, Gary Mitchell, Bo gives a thumbs up, one last gesture, one last acknowledgement. His last words, spoken softly to the people he loves: I'm going to heaven. And then Bo Diddley, born Ellis Ophir Bates, born into poverty and abandoned as a baby, the man who invented rock and roll's heartbeat, the man Ed Sullivan said wouldn't last 6 months, closes his eyes. He was 79 years old. He left behind a legacy that will never die. Because here's the truth about Bo Diddley. The music industry tried to bury him. They underpaid him. They stole from him. They banned him. They let British bands get rich off his innovations while he struggled to pay his bills. But they couldn't kill the beat. Bump, 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 bump. It's in Buddy Holly's Not Fade Away, in the Rolling Stones' first American hit, in U2's Desire, in George Michael's Faith, in Bruce Springsteen's She's the One, in thousands of songs you've heard and loved without ever knowing where that rhythm came from. The Bo Diddley beat is eternal, is woven into the fabric of rock and roll, hip hop, pop, everything. You can hear it in your pulse when you run, in your heartbeat when you dance, in the rhythm of the world spinning. Bo Diddley never got the money he deserved. He never got the credit he deserved, but he got something that Ed Sullivan, Leonard Chess, and every person who tried to diminish him could never take away. He got immortality. His name is on the beat. His sound is in the foundation. His legacy is in every guitar player who picks up an instrument and dares to create something new. Every woman who picks up a guitar and refuses to be told it's not for her. Every artist who gets cheated and keeps creating anyway. Every innovator who builds their own path when the world tries to block them. Bo Diddley opened the door, and while others ran through and left him holding the knob, they couldn't close it behind him. The door stayed open. The beat kept going. The revolution he started never stopped. In 2008, the world finally acknowledged what anyone paying attention already knew. Bo Diddley wasn't just one of the founders of rock and roll. He was the architect, the blueprint, the heartbeat. When they laid him to rest that June in Florida, they buried a man. But you cannot bury a sound that lives in the bones of music itself. Bump, bop, bump, 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 bump. That rhythm is playing somewhere right now. In a club, in a stadium, in someone's headphones, in a young musician's bedroom as they learn their first chords. And it will play long after we're all gone. Because Bo Diddley didn't just make music, he made eternity. And that's the story they don't teach you. The story of the man who invented his own sound, survived every attempt to silence him, and beat them all by becoming immortal. Rest in power, Bo Diddley. The beat goes on.